Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a swatch test in the new Kikki K planner that I've recently got. If you've been following Kikki K for a while, you would have heard that Kikki K has recently changed their paper to something a little bit thicker. So today I'm going to be swatching some of my pens and some of my highlighters, as you can see here, on the new Kikki K paper. And I'm also going to be comparing it to the older Kikki K paper. I have here already some of the swatches that I've already done of all of the pens and stuff that I wanted to swatch on the new paper. So that way we'll be able to see a little bit of the difference. So I have a bunch of different like pens and stuff here that I have ready to swatch for you guys. So let's get started. So in one of my last videos you would have seen me unbox this. This is the new Kikki K planner for Christmas. I've already started decorating it and adding some things in here, but I'll show you some of that later. I'm just going to quickly flip back over here. So this is the new Kikki K paper, which is quite a bit thicker. Let me take it out of the binder here. So this is the new Kikki K paper. It is in a slightly different format because I purchased it with this holiday planner, but I just took out one of the other pages from my other Kikki K that had the older paper in it. And you can definitely feel the difference between the paper. Maybe if I go like this, you guys will be able to see. So this is the old paper. This is the new one. I don't think anything will bleed through this Kikki K paper, but let's just see. So the first pens that I want to swatch in here are the actual Kikki K pens. I have the Kikki K Gel Pen that I recently picked up, and I also have the ballpoint pen. These pens are some of my favorite pens actually. They are quite affordable and I think they write really well and very smooth. At the moment I think these two pens are going to be the ones that I'm going to be using next year in these inserts. I think they write really smoothly and they're probably some of my favorites that I've tried. I know a lot of people also really enjoy using Muji pens, so I picked out a selection of 3 of my black ones. The majority of the pens here I have are black just because I feel like a lot of people tend to use them a lot more. So that is the Clickable Ballpoint Pen. This one I know a lot of people use as well. This is the gel ink one. This is in 0.5. And then I also have this clickable one, which I also quite enjoy. I don't know why, but I enjoy this one better than the capped ones, and I'm not really sure why. I think it is because it dries a little bit faster than this one. I always seem to smudge this one for some reason, so that's why I don't tend to gravitate towards it. I also have here the Hobonichi pen. This is the Uni Jetstream. I really do like this pen as well. It is a little bit thinner. I believe this is a 0.5 refill in here, but I really like how thin it is and how smooth it is to write with. So I also really like this pen. Let me just move this out of the way so I can show you guys what pens I have been swatching. This is a pen that I know a lot of people enjoy using in their Erin Condrens. This is the Papermate InkJoy gel, and this is in 0.7. I'm not sure why I didn't get along with this pen more often. I think I did like it before, however, I don't tend to like my writing in 0.7 ink, so that's probably why I stopped using it. But I do know a lot of people use this, so I'm going to see how it works on this paper. When I used to plan in my Erin Condren, I used to use this Staedtler Triplus. I found it works really well on stickers. The only thing that I do not like about these Triplus pens is that it tends to dry out quite quickly. I used to go through a lot of these, and I find that as it's running out, the color of it, the black one, would fade a little bit to gray, so that's kind of why I stopped using that as well and just sort of switched to more like gel pens and other ballpoint pens. I know a lot of people also use the Sharpie, especially when they are writing on glossy stickers. I think this works quite well. This one I have is the fine point one, and mine always tends to dry out quite quickly. So that is why I tend to not use this, and also I'm not really that big of a fan of the smell of Sharpies anyways. So that was something that I tried using, but it didn't really work out for me. I have been using a lot of this Staedtler Pigment liner in 0.3 lately, and mainly I like drawing with this. I also really like the other different sizes of this nib, but I really like this because it is waterproof on paper, it is light fast as well. So I tend to use this whenever I am watercoloring something. However, I kind of don't want to waste it on just planning out my week, so I just want to see how it works on this paper as well. This is another pen that I actually use quite a bit in my plan with me's, especially some of my earlier ones. This is just a gel ink pen from AliExpress. I really do like this pen. I'm not really sure the point of it. It could be 0.5, but I really like how smooth it writes, and it's quite affordable as well. I actually went through a lot of these pens before, so I've been kind of switching out the refills from my pens because I really do like the look of this barrel. So that's kind of just what I've been using lately. And the last kind of pen item that I have here is the Papermate Flares. I know a lot of people like using these. I used to use them in my Happy Planner, but I just decided that I liked black ink better than some of these colors. But I do really like some of the colors that these Papermate Flare pens come in. If I ever need something to stand out on my spread, I think these would be a good choice. So those are all of the pens so far, and you can kind of see the difference between a lot of them. The ones that I really like so far are like these Kikki K pens. I do like these two more inky Muji pens as well. I might give the Papermate InkJoy another go for next year, but so far my top ones are definitely the Kikki K Gel Pens and Ballpoint pens, as well as some of these Muji Gel Pens as well. And as you can see, there is literally no ghosting or anything on the other side of the paper, even where the Sharpie was, which was here, should be here. And there is absolutely nothing. I can feel a little bit of my writing here because I was just writing on this wooden surface, but it looks pretty good. So now I'm actually going to do a little bit more swatching, but instead with some highlighters, and see how that works out. So I really love using mild liners, so I definitely need to swatch this in here. I tend to use a lot of mild liners every time I want to add a little bit of color and make things stand out. I also really like using them on my date covers as well. So let me just take this and write mild liner. I also have a few different friction highlighters as well. This is another blue one. I think I'll just stick to the blue color theme. I also really like this. I find the tip of these really, really nice. I really like the colors of both of these highlighters. It kind of just depends on what I have on hand that I choose. For the most part, I do like how you can erase the friction ones, but I find that sometimes they don't erase well enough to go over it again. So that's why I tend to use the mild liners a little bit more. So I also want to start swatching some other like brush pens and stuff like that in here. So this is the Tombow dual tip marker. This is in the shade 553. It's this really pretty blue. I don't normally do calligraphy in my weeklies. However, I just want to see how well this paper stands against these markers, so I'll give it a go. The next couple of brush pens that I want to swatch in here are also from Tombow, but these are the Furonasuke brush pens. I have the soft one and the hard one. I am thinking about maybe using these a little bit more in my spreads if I want to add some calligraphy, if I'm not using a sticker kit. So let's see. I also have another brush pen here. This is from Pentel. This is the Touch brush pen. I recently got these and I've been really enjoying the gray version. It is really, really nice. I also really like the tip of this as well. It is quite flexible but not difficult to use. And the last marker that I want to swatch in here are Crayola Super Tips. I always use these. So I tend to use the Crayola Super Tips quite a bit, not so much in my inserts. However, they still do bleed through my paper. Usually what I do is whenever I am cutting inserts for my planner, I use these scrap pieces around it that I'm not using, and I use that in my journal. I would do a little bit of fake hand calligraphy with some of these Crayola Super Tips, cut them out and then put them in my journal, so I'm like wasting a little bit less paper. I don't know if I'm the only person that does that, but that's kind of what I tend to do, and I find that these do bleed through my 28-pound paper a little bit, and that's only if I'm pressing really hard or if I go over it a couple times. There is a little bit of ghosting as well, so I just want to see how it holds up on this paper instead. So now I am done swatching all of these on the Kikki K paper, and let's see what it looks like on the back. This paper is actually really thick. I'm not really sure what kind of paper it is, but literally you don't even see anything on the back. I was worried that these inserts are going to be a little bit too thick and it's going to bulk up my planner, especially if I am using stickers. However, I might go a little bit more minimal and use a lot more character stickers and leftover kits that I already have in my planner for next year. But now after swatching these other pens and markers, I think I can literally get away with anything with these inserts. Let me just bring in the old Kikki K paper and maybe we can see a little bit of a difference. So I used all of these same pens swatching both of these, and on the back here of these pages you can see a little bit of ghosting from some of the markers. Like I can see some of the Tombow brush pens, the Fudenosuke ones, these ones, and I can see a little bit of the Super Tips as well as the Pentel Touch Pen. You can definitely see a lot of ghosting on the regular Sharpie, and the Sharpie is drying out already, but you can see a little bit of like bleed coming through, I guess you can say. But other than that, I think it is okay. You can see a little bit of ghosting on this page, more so compared to the new insert. However, I still think that is quite okay. Because this paper is quite light and thin, I expected the pen to show through a lot more, but it's actually not that bad. I know there are a lot of people that don't tend to use the inserts that come in with planners, like the Kikki K inserts. I know a lot of people just like take them out right away and they don't really want to use them. However, I have made it my goal to start using some of the inserts that come in with planners, like the Filofax inserts. I know they aren't like the prettiest inserts, but I do still want to use them. And these Kikki K inserts, they are already so pretty. Now that I have these new ones that came in my planner, I'm definitely going to be using them. I used to kind of just take them out right away and not tend to use them. However, these inserts are actually quite good quality. I think if I had like weeklies in the old Kikki K paper, I would still definitely use them. I think these are a little bit thinner than my 28-pound paper that I normally use, but I think it still holds up really well. So I think that is it for this week's video, you guys. I hope it was slightly informational for you guys. Let me know what type of planners you guys are using for next year or thinking about using for next year. Let me know what pens you guys are thinking about using. What are your favorite writing utensils to use in your planner? I would love to hear about them. So yeah, I think I will end this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!